If you know anything about eagles, eagles don't fly with any other bird other than eagles. Okay, they fly alone or they fly with other eagles. And when storms hit, and you can use this in the terms of life, when storms hit, other birds seek shelter. But when it comes to the eagle spread his wings and flies above the storm. So therefore he can keep going to his destination. And once he reaches destination, and once we reach our pinnacle or our destination, we can celebrate by receiving the crown of victory.
Breaking the silence, taking the dive in. Nikki pulling strings like she playing the violin. Made in his likeness, radiant vibrance. Give them all glory, ain't no way to deny it. She gon' make you laugh, she gon' stimulate your mind. Making things shake, she ain't in no wasting time. They can come close but can't imitate the grind. Got a different way to illustrate and innovate designs. BTS podcast, gotta watch that. Teaching us the game, that mean Nikki got class. If you watch it once, you gon' wanna stop back. This an opportunity that you cannot pass. Unleash your inner voice, cause better days coming. Better days, get ready for better days. Better days, better days. Better days, get ready for better days. Better days, better days.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Breaking the Silence, where your voice matters, where stories don't whisper, they speak, and where people find the courage to turn their pain into purpose. I'm your host, author Nikki Nicole. This platform was created to give people a space to share their real stories behind their journeys, the struggles, the breakthroughs, and the moments that shaped who they are today. And today's guest, he's back again. Mr. Ron Godfrey. He's an award-winning actor, author, transformational speaker whose journey from survival to significance fuels every stage and screen he steps onto. He is also a part of the Ugly Side of Purpose, a national virtual media tour curated by E.G.O Entertainment Network, led by Lady J. Featuring bold authors, actors, artists, speakers, entrepreneurs, media personalities, and advocates whose books were born out of real life survival, mental health battles, grief, illness, abuse, injustice, and the journey toward healing and purpose. Through Mr. Ron's work, he continues to inspire people to embrace resilience, faith, and the mindset to grind and conquer through life's challenges. So, after the countdown, please welcome Mr. Ron Godfrey back to the platform again. Hey, hey.
You know, that introduction was hot for real. I'm gonna be honest with you. You almost had me up here moving and shaking a little bit in my
Not
tie.
moving the second. You know, I had to give you a different experience the
Yeah,
second time
yeah.
around.
Thank you.
How you been?
Been great, great. Thank you so much. Thank
Hey,
you for having
great.
me back.
You're welcome. Welcome back for another occasion this time about we're going to talk about your book today. So now,
Okay.
you got to take me back in time. Do you remember when the pen and paper first stopped being just something to write with and started feeling like a place where your voice really could live? And when did you actually fall in love with writing in itself?
Um, I remember when the pen and paper became my source when I got tired of feeling rejected, when I would want to just have a conversation to express myself. And I didn't feel free enough to do it because I was always made to feel like what I thought and what I felt meant nothing. And so I found safety in just putting my thoughts and feelings on paper, because one thing about the paper's not going to reject you. It's not going to talk back. It's not going to judge you. So that's where I felt safe, and that's where my book came from, my writings.
Now that I felt that writing, people don't believe it, but writing is an escape.
It is.
Literally, sometimes it saves people's lives from getting told off because you just write it down. You don't have to go through all that mess. You can choose your battles better when you write it
Exactly.
down. So
Exactly.
now, what was that moment in your life where you knew that the next chapter was going to look different?
Um, I can't really pinpoint because it was so much that happened at one time. It was a thing where I just had to pretty much make a decision to say, okay, the buck stops here. You see what I'm saying? I got to move differently now. I got to do this. I got to do that. Because if we wait on things to happen on its own, we might be waiting for a while. So sometimes we have to make things happen in order for things to move.
Now that's true, but you know what I've learned? The recent lesson I learned: we all think that things are going to just happen the way we want it to happen,
Hmm.
But truth be told, God already wrote the story. He knows what's going to happen. Every
Right.
chapter is going to be different in your life, but sometimes we delay our own progress in our lives, and
Right.
sometimes we just got to wait on God. Sometimes too,
Right.
because He might not want us to do something right now, but then here we are going to jump the gun and do it
Right.
anyway. So now we
Exactly.
don't rerouted our whole GPS and we on the back road somewhere we lost.
Right. Right.
So
Exactly.
so
I get it.
now a lot of authors write from imagination,
Mhm.
but your work is rooted in real life experience. When you
Right.
sit down to write, how much of Mr. Ron's real story ends up on those pages?
Just about everything. Just about my. I have a new book getting ready to come out with of my poetry called Seasons of the Soul, and it goes even deeper than my autobiography, because if in my poetry it tells you about the sleepless nights, and it tells you how many times the pillow caught my tears, and how the moonlight, wiped my tears, and all that kind. I mean, it's so much. You know what I'm saying? So my poetry book is going to give you a deeper look within my soul, I mean, in the gut of things.
Now I didn't
Yeah.
know you was a poet. You didn't tell me that. Just amazing around here. You didn't tell me you was a poet now. Now,
Yes,
we
man.
gotta talk about your book, Crying Out in the Dark.
Okay.
Now, take me back to the moment when you sat down, you said, you know what, I'm going to put this on paper. I'm going to tell the world my story and be as transparent as I can be.
Um, I had gotten to a point where I had enough. I had gotten to a point where I needed to share my story so that others would know that they're not alone, because there are a lot of people, especially men, especially Black men, that are suffering within. They're suffering in silence. They are afraid to come out with how they really feel because of the fear of being categorized as being soft, or, anything of that nature because of upbringing. There has been a long lasting stigma of you shouldn't cry or show weakness in front of a woman or anything of that nature, not realizing when you suffocate the feelings of that young boy, and to be more specific, telling that boy not to cry, and what he wants to express himself, what you're doing, you're telling him to suppress his feelings, and you're creating a volcano that at some point, as it ages, it will erupt. So I wanted people to know that they're not alone in how they feel. And once the book released, I had so many people contact me and say, reading about me was like reading about themselves.
Ooh, wow. Now that's deep. That's deep.
Yeah.
Now that your book title alone makes people stop and think like, wait a minute, crying out in the dark. What do he mean by that? So I have to ask you this. Do you remember that moment in your life, your life when you felt like you were in that darkness yourself?
So the title Crying Out in the Dark comes from a place where I was within. I felt like I was all alone, in a dungeon, wet, grimy, the stench of death was all around me. And, I'm just crying out and nobody would hear me. Nobody heard me. And if you look at the book cover has my face in half darkness and half of it is in light, because I was in darkness in search of the light of life. You know what I'm saying? Because I felt like I was dead.
Wow.
Yeah.
So how did you come out of the darkness? You felt like you were dead. How did you come out of that? How did you overcome that feeling?
I didn't do it by myself. It was the power of God. I said, Lord, okay, I can't do this by myself. You see what I'm going through. Okay. I need you to reach your hand down through the rubbish pile and pull me out, clean me off, and put me back on the solid foundation, and that's what he did. I was at the point of, I attempted suicide, but he pulled me out of that, and I'm thankful that I'm here to tell my story.
Amen. Amen. But you know what? I think everybody has to go through what they call a Job experience.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody. And when you go through those Job experiences, when God strips you of everything that you have, you learn at the end of the day, all you have is God sometimes. That's it. And then
Yeah.
he pretty much takes everything away from you just to build you back up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, why God? Why you take me through all of this? Could have just placed me where I was needed to be. But you learn lessons that way too. And you
Exactly.
learn something about faith too, because faith is something that you have to like grow into over time period as you go through things. I've learned that the older I get, that faith is something you really have to sit and just give it to God and trust that he's going to work it out.
Mm-hmm.
Not just sit on pins and needles, and because that's the human in us. We sit on pins and needles. I got to do something. I got to do something. But God is always on time, and that is true.
We get antsy. We get antsy and impatient, and that will sometimes vex God,
Yes.
because we say we trust him, we believe in him, but then when we are tried, when we are put into that area of waiting, that area of waiting is where our faith is really tried. And we're tried by the fire.
Yes.
And there you go.
But the waiting room has purpose. The weight room has purpose. We just need to know that. So now, faith
Exactly.
seems to be a big part of your journey. How has your faith shaped you in a way you approach both your writing and your work on the screen too?
Well, first of all, me and God been boys for a while. you know, yeah, that's I have my own relationship with him. I call him Big G. So me and Big G been down for a minute. You know what I'm saying? And I credit everything that I'm able to do to him. Um, Everything started in church. You know what I'm saying? Me going to my place of worship, since I was a kid. I was born and raised in it, started in music, everything like that. And so I've learned to trust him. And when I started acting, I said, Lord, I want you to manage my career. I want you to manage my career. So, and then I find out why there are certain roles that I don't get picked for is because he don't want me to have them. There's something that he see down the road, you know what I'm saying? So I have to remind myself, I asked him to manage my career.
But you know what? Not every opportunity has your name on it.
Exactly.
Sometimes and everything we think is an opportunity is not an opportunity.
Right.
When we learn that, life will get more easier.
Exactly.
So now, you being an actor, author, speaker, you doing all these poet. I just found out that poet. When you're telling a story, do you feel like the actor in you, the writer in you, or the speaker in you is usually the one that takes the lead?
I'm gonna say the writer speaker. It's coming from a real place. Acting is what it is. Acting. You know what I'm saying? And depending on what it is, because sometimes you could be acting out a true story, whatever. But more or less, it's coming from my speaking and my writing. Yeah.
Wow. So now a lot of people talk about grinding. You talk about grinding and conquering.
Yeah.
But not everyone knows how to keep going when things get hard. But most of us give up when things get hard.
Right.
So what helped you stay consistent during the tough season in your life?
Well, first of all, you have to be committed. And without commitment, you won't start. But more importantly, without consistency, you won't finish. And you take the ego, which represents grind and conquer. Okay. You take the ego. If you know anything about eagles don't fly with any other bird other than eagles. Okay. They fly alone or they fly with other eagles. And when storms hit, and you can use this in the terms of life, when storms hit, other birds seek shelter. But when it comes to the eagle spread his wings and flies above the storm. So therefore he can keep going to his destination. And once he reaches destination, and once we reach our pinnacle or our destination, we can celebrate by receiving the crown of victory. There you go.
Look, I was hoping you was going to tell that story about the eagle again. He told that in the last episode, y'all. I was like, wait, did he just blow my mind? And he told it again. I love the eagle. But then, the eagle is very strong too.
Right.
Very strong.
Right. Very strong.
Because not everybody, my mom always said, you're either going to be going in a storm, you're going to be in that storm, or you can be coming out of a storm. So either way, you got God in the front of the front and the back and the middle of that storm. So you're going to be okay either way.
Right.
You're going to be okay.
Exactly.
So now I'm down to the least favorite part of the show. The last question. If you could sit down with the version of yourself who was just trying to survive, just trying to make it, what would you tell him today?
Trying to survive, what would I tell him today? I would tell him to keep going, no matter how hard it gets, and to remember that the top of one mountain is the bottom of another. So keep climbing. And if you see yourself losing any type of altitude, God will be the wind beneath your wings, and he will help you along your journey. But don't give up. Don't quit.
Amen.
You can't win if you quit.
Okay. You can't win if you quit.
Right.
So now I'm going to pass the mic to you. After the countdown, this is your time to let everybody know where to purchase your book from, how to support you in any other areas, all the good stuff about you. This is going to be your time. So after the countdown, I'm passing the mic to you.
All okay.
Right? So before I pass the mic, I just want to say thank you. I am grateful to be able to converse with some amazing people doing amazing things every day and share them with you so you can know about these people. So thank you for showing up. Thank you for listening. Thank you for supporting breaking the silence. It means the world to me. So if this space has inspired you, challenged you, or made you feel seen in some type of way, do me a favor. Subscribe to this channel, like this episode, share it with someone who needs it, and drop that comment and let me know you're here, because I want to hear your thoughts. Your support means everything to me. It keeps these conversations going. So now, let me pass the mic so you can know how to get in contact with this amazing guest. So let's get back into this episode.
Hey everybody, my name is Ron Godfrey, actor, author, entrepreneur, everything. I want to say thank you to author Nikki, Nicole, for having me back on your show. Hey, listen, if you want to contact me, want to follow me, or whatever the case is, you can follow me on Instagram at I am Ron Godfrey. That's Instagram, I am Ron Godfrey. Facebook, I am Ron Godfrey or Ron Godfrey. TikTok, actor Ron Godfrey. Or check out my website, www.rongodfrey.com. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for coming back and supporting me yet again on another episode. I'm so proud of you. And like I said, I found out something new this episode. Your boy, he said everything. He literally means that too, y'all. I've been keeping up with you. I saw you came out with something else here lately. I've been watching. I said, he's still going. He's in another episode of Fatal Attraction. I was like, that's what I'm talking about. Go ahead now.
Well, actually, it's not Fatal Attraction. It's an episode of For My Man.
For My Man. That's right. For My Man.
That's going to be my first time on that show.
Wow. Yes. I actually watched that show religiously. I love that. Fatal Attraction and For My Man. I love them both.
And if I may share something with you, probably do not know that just happened. I've been blessed to have been selected to get an honorary doctorate in divinity. So yes.
Go ahead. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
Just winning. Congratulations.
So April 25th will be the ceremony in Atlanta, Georgia. April 25th.
Okay. Yeah. Awesome. Well, you know, if there's anything that I can do on my end, I'm always here. If there's something I can share to support you in any type of way, just send it to me and I'll share it right on out.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. And thank you to everybody else that's tuning into this amazing episode. Y'all make sure y'all go and purchase Crying Out in the Dark. Listen, y'all heard the premises behind it. That title in itself says a lot. Speaks volumes. So y'all make sure y'all support. We got to support each other. That's the only way we can win. We got to do it together. I've been saying that from day one. Day one, y'all. We 2 years in. Winning together is easier together. So thank you so much for tuning into another episode of Breaking the Silence. I hope today's conversation left you feeling seen, heard, and inspired. Remember, your story matters, your voice matters, and healing begins when we stop suffering in silence. So until next time, keep speaking your truth, keep showing up for yourself, and keep breaking the silence, because healing starts when we do what? Speak. Later, everybody.
Better days, slowly but surely it's a better space. That'll raise my mind, so I meditate till I levitate. I elevate when I learn not to hesitate. No more, keep moving forward. Chase my goals and focus more towards it. Hate the lows, but I need those to flourish. Place my goal in front, that's what's important. So I ask myself what inspires me. Breaking out of my shell, feeling yo shot quiet me. And now I'm breaking the silence like I'm Nikki Nicole. Let's go. Promise you gon' see better. Hey, gotta keep going till you see them. Promise you gon' see better. Hey, you gotta keep going till you see them.